Thank you and welcome once more to this lesson 3. My name is Nostin, and I promised you that we shall be getting to our first lesson of practical with the piano. And here we are going to interact with the piano. And for those who are seeing it for the first time, we are going to have opportunity to know a lot of things. And today we are going to talk about 3 things as we always do in every lesson. The first one being posture, second one is naming of the keys that we have today here, and then the third one will be finger practice. Welcome, and let's continue together. Just before we continue, I just want to remind you that you've followed the first lesson, second lesson, but still you've not subscribed to the channel below. I want to beseech you just to take your time, click the subscription button, and then like, comment, share the videos so that they can also help someone somewhere there. Piano, every other instrument has a rule, and there's a way you have to align yourself in, for you to do it right. And also, we can get tired as we play along, because some sessions, maybe while in church, you may get tired when perhaps you did not get a proper posture, or maybe the piano may be too raised for you to play, or too low for you, that will make you bend, and as you bend you can get tired very easily. So you have to ensure that wherever place you sit or stand is very the posture is very okay. So according to the piano, the posture that piano requires is 90 degree. That is, you sit at 90 degrees, so that to an extent that when you put your fingers on the piano, the fingers will be aligning themselves at 90 degrees. For example, when I stand too high, the keys, my fingers will not be aligning themselves on the piano very easily, and will have straining at the hand. And when I'm too low, when I'm below the piano, I'll be straining to align myself and my fingers on the piano, and that will make strains. At the same time, you may not play something very clear, something very sweet. You will not execute all the techniques that you wanted to do so as to give a better output. So the second thing that we're going to talk about today that we mentioned is the naming of the keys. Remember, in the second lesson we talked about key, note, and a chord. If perhaps you've not watched it, I want to encourage you to get into the description below. I've put the link of the second lesson so that you have a look at what they mean. But so far I will just brush over them to say that keys are the very many buttons that you can see, these many white things, and then the blacks as well are keys. And then the sound that they produce, that is the sound that every key produces is what we call a note. When you strike a key, for example this one, the sound that it produces is what we call a key. And when you combine maybe more than one key, maybe let's talk of this, the sound that they produce is what we call a note. If you're very keen enough, you will realize that we are having repetition of maybe 2 and 3, 2 and 3. I'm talking to somebody who is interacting with a piano for the first time, or maybe perhaps you've always looked at it but have not realized that there's some aspect of pattern here. We have 2 black keys, we also have 3. If you look here, we also have 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So to mean we are having a repetition, there is some bit of pattern that is repeating itself here. In the very main white keys, if you look at them from this other end, you may not see that there's a difference, but as they are coming in between this, you can realize that we have 2 white keys aligning themselves adjacently, and then there are some alternating with the blacks, and as well it continues that way. So I told you that the naming of the key, the keys will always take the alphabetical letters that we talked about in the first lesson. That is A, B, C, D, E, F up to G, and then we begin another A as we proceed along. And then we also talked about do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That we'll talk about in the next lesson. That is lesson 4. And the third thing that we talked about is the numbering in terms of, the numeral numbers. That is 1, 2, 7, and then the 8th one was the same as the first one. So this is what we said. We've understood that we are dealing with between alphabetical letters A up to G, and then proceeding along we will be repeating A. There's no H in music or in piano as well. So I just want to begin naming and tell you that naming of the piano, as we talked about alphabetical letters, with the A, the key for A, first of all, we are going to concentrate on, on the white keys alone, and then the black keys always get their names from the white keys. They will be bearing two names we're going to see as we proceed along. So A, the key A is always this one here. This is the key A. We can locate them wherever place we see them in the piano. We have A. That is the last one in the alternated white among the three black keys. This one here. So if you have this one here, this another A, this another A, this another A, this another A. So if this is A, and we said that naming is up to G, let's see whether it's going to align itself up to G. And we are concentrating on the white keys. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we have the next one being A. And if you can say that this A and this A are at the same position in alignment, they are the last one among the alternates of the black three. Don't concentrate much on the sound that is produced. That we learn as we progress along. What you have to realize that we've come from this A, and automatically the next A just come by its own self. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we said there is no H. We are getting back to A. I think that is understood. So if you're getting back to A, it means we are proceeding along. So if this is A, this is B, C, D, E, F, G, and then the next one is A. And if you look at this A, where it is, you can locate the position with the other A's that we've talked about here. We can realize that they are falling at the same place. So if this is A, we shall still proceed along and say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then this is another A, that way, this is another A, and then B as it progresses along. This a piano of 61 keys, and then there's another one with 90 keys. There's no difference. It's only the length, but the repetition is the same. So I talked of a landmark. The landmark that I want to give you that will not confuse you whether you transition from one piano to a different one is the key D. D is a key just falling between the two black keys. This white one falling between the two black keys. This is the D. This is the key D. This is the key D. And as we talked about the naming of the piano, you can pick it because I think you're very familiar with the alphabetical letters. You can go forth, you can come back, and you know that it's a repetition. So I want to say that this is D because as we count along, you will realize that it is falling a D. Let's see. If this is A, B, C, this will automatically be D, E, F, G, then A, B, C, D. So for you not to forget is that white key that you find falling in between these two black keys, this one is always called D. So if you've known one of this and you know that we are beginning from A up to J, you can name them backward, you can name them forward. So let's begin with this middle D and say that if this is D, we can get back and say that this is C, this is B, this is A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And then if you go forward, you can talk of D, E, F, G, A, B, C. This automatically becomes D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then the D. Our piano ends there. So the landmark that I've talked about, you should never forget. It is D. So if you are at D, you can go forward, you can come backward. So this is what you're gonna train. You ensure that you know this case by name to an extent that when you're tested, you have to know where each and every key falls and by its name. So as I have given you this landmark to be D, use your own analogies to find the position of other letters. That is, you will find your own ways to memorize that this is F. By default, this is F. You go to which piano, maybe some other place you've never gone to, you find a piano, this will always be F. This will always be G. This will always be A, B, C, D. They are standard. And that is why we talked about a pattern. You can see that there's a pattern from here up to here. It's a repetition of from here up to here. And then from here up to here is also another repetition, from here up to here. That is, it constitutes 7 keys. Then the 7 are the 7 letters. That is the numbering that we are talking about.